Hello and welcome. My name is Sharon and this is Trio.of.Witches Tarot. In this video, as promised in a previous video, I'm going to do an unfair deck comparison, which is an homage to Mistress Ray. She didn't really create this as a tag, she didn't ask for viewers, but I love the concept, so I do it. And this is the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed next to the Ashley Cook Tarot. These are both collage decks, both available on Etsy. This is by Ashley Cook, and this is by Lalania Simone. And I don't see these decks. This box is amazing. I don't see these on TarotTube. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't think it's an older deck. The backs are amazing. Does it say in the guidebook? First edition. I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what year this was. I forget my Roman numerals. 2022 maybe. Yeah? I think so. And then the Ashley Cook is not as extravagant. I mean, this is even edged and it's gilded in blue metallic gilding. This just comes in a tuck box. The cardstock is very different. You know, it's plain cardstock, and the backs are not, you know, they're not terrible. They're just not much. Okay, so the Fool. This one's, you know, very like on a crystal or something. That's all the dog, and this dog isn't nipping, so they're both. This one is more non-traditional, but still makes sense. I have several decks that have the Magician. It's kind of just a set of hands with the tools. I love this guy. But you can see that the High Priestess here is cooler, but on the whole so far, I love both of these. Love her. Back to that hot. Like that the Empress became sacred feminine in the Cosmic Seed. And I think I'm out of order. And then we have the sacred masculine instead of the Emperor. The Hierophant is the teacher now. There is some renaming in the court cards too in the Cosmic Seed, but nothing that's too confusing. Love the dragonflies. Love dragonflies. Love how they're both very purple. The Chariot reminds me a little bit of the Chariot in Prisma Visions. Strength. Again, very purple in both of these. I like purple. There's a lot of purple now that I'm looking at it side by side. Like that the lantern is over here. And instead of a lantern, it's like a crystal ball or something. The moon, that's a beautiful moon. And the Wheel of Fortune. Justice. And there's a lot of cards in the Cosmic Seed that don't have people in them. That looks more like a guy than a woman, but not that it matters. Just noticing things. A Hanged One. Love both of those. Love that her head is a rose. Death. Again, the purple. I'm starting to see why I was attracted to both of these. My favorite color. Like it's just this, it's like an X-ray. Temperance. Very similar energy with those colors. I love doing these side by sides because then I think decks are like similar but very different, and then I find more similarities than I thought there was going to be. So there's still the orange here. There's still a little bit of that fire. There's a lot more fire in this one though. Star. Ah, where's the tower? There it is, out of order. There we go. So yeah, a lot of purple in this too, a lot of the similar shades. I love the eye up here. Now the star. Those are very different. This is much more non-traditional, isn't it? And the moon, those feel very similar. I love that this is waterfall. Like faces on the moon, so I like that. But this is a beautiful moon too. The moons in this are really nice. And the sun. Both of them have a face on them. I like that in the Ashley Cook that it is representing the masculine, right? Because the sun is the masculine. And a lot of times it's a woman on the card, which always feels, I don't know, is the sun like the marriage of those two things? I always kind of felt like the world was that. Anyway, kind of similar, but much cooler here with all the blue. And then the world, oh, again, I'm out of order. So instead of judgment, we have liberation. And they're both very blue and green, which is cool. I like that she's coming out of a magnolia. Then the world. Those are very different. It's very non-traditional, but you still get it, right? Ace of Wands. 2. Very purpley, still a lot of purple in both of them. 3. Here we have that like honeycomb effect or whatever it is that's throughout this deck a lot. 4. Wow, those are way more similar than I am so struck by that. Didn't expect that to happen. 5. There's a lot of snakes in the Cosmic Seed. I mean, on the box cover is about snakes. If you don't like snakes, maybe not for you. I love the 6 of Wands. Like, this card alone may have sold me on this deck. She is gorgeous and happy, and it's everything. This is very, it's got all the traditional imagery in it. It's good. I like it. I'm just saying I love the other one. And I love this. Very Mulan, isn't it? And it's still very blue, both of them. And those, I mean, they are very similar in the color story in them, but they're also like, 8 Wands. There you go. 9 of Wands. There's a lot of fire here. There's some, looks like fiery up there, but this, you see, was where I'm talking about. There isn't, the fire of the Wands is downplayed a little bit in the Cosmic Seed. It's a cooler representation of that. And then the 10 of Wands. Love that. I love this too. They're much more vintage feel, right? So there is that contrast where I think in Ashley Cook, it's got much more vintagey feel of the images that were chosen, and this is much more, Cosmic Seed is much more modern. So instead of page, we have messenger. And then instead of knight, we have action, and I think all of the knights just are an object and not, there's no people in them, which is cool. I love this motorcycle. And then instead of queen, we have nurturer. I love her. She's badass. She is badass. Something about this reminds me of Nicole Kidman. And the king, and those, if we're just looking at the colors and the poses, and something about these two feels really similar to me. I guess it's because he's got this turquoise and then there's turquoise back here. the Ace of Cups, and I love both of these. I love that we've got like an octopus coming out of the cup. I love this with the dove and the flower. And see, there's fire up here, so there's a lot of fire in this deck. The Two of Cups. I like this, but you see where it's very cool. This with this pink makes it warmer. And I like that there's two people in this one. This one feels less like what I think of as Two of Cups, but it also gives me another layer to the Two of Cups. And the Three of Cups. I love that they have cups on their heads. It's so awesome to me. And the Four of Cups. Both of them very traditional feeling. This one's just floating on a cloud with instead of a hand. This one's got this cool hand here. And you see that there's fire again. There's always fire. I love her face. I love this guy. And he's got like, it's supposed to look like tattoos or something on his back there. Anyway, the Six, definitely vintagey feel. I love this. Taj Mahal, that's awesome. And the Seven, yeah, see, you don't, I love there's a dragon right there. There's the tower up there. There's a snake. And there's a snake. What else is similar in the cups? There's a heart there. I love it. That's our hermit in there, isn't it? It is. It's the hermit. That's cool. Okay, 8. So there's no person in this one, and that's cool. I love that peacock up there. And these, as far as the color story, yeah, the same. And 9, again, no person. And the 10. And now this feels a little bit more vintagey to me. I love this. It doesn't, the one on the Cosmic Seed has so much color in it, it doesn't need the rainbow at all. And a lot of times if it doesn't have a rainbow, I miss it. And the Page or Messenger, love his pose, it's awesome. And the Action of Cups. So now we have a boat instead of a motorcycle, which was in the Wands. This guy's awesome. You see the fire again. Just saying. A lot of flowers. Nurturer or Queen, and this appears to be more male for the Queen, with for the Nurturer, which is really, really cool. And there is a lot of blue here, but then there's still the fire in the cup. And the King or Mastery, and so now we have a female. There's that octopus again that we had in the Ace, which is so cool. Let's find it. Yeah, see? There it is. And the colors, super similar. Here we have two hands and the sword is pointing up, and here we have the sword pointing downward. And let's see, other deck recently, Forager's Daughter also had the sword pointing downward. And I'm interested in why. What is the logic behind that? I love that there's a dragonfly there on the hilt of it. And purple, sort of inverted, right? And the colors. And then the Two of Swords. So we have the two swords down here, and she's blindfolded. She's blindfolded, but she's holding the swords. Much more purple here than here. A lot of green. And the 3, you know, swords through a heart. At least here it's a flower instead. And the 4. So noticing that a lot of the minors don't have any people in them in the Cosmic Seed, which is totally fine. I mean, I wouldn't call it a pippish deck. Only upon looking at it, it's very blue. Only upon looking at it do I notice that there's no people. Like I hadn't thought of it before. and the 5. I love that they're both women. And this 6, I like that there's a rainbow back there. She is sailing towards something good. I like that she's, she's holding a sword and she's got a baby in her arms. And then there's Earth up there. So where is she? 7. Interesting that they're all in her, what looks like a flower, one of those old style flowery swim caps, right? I like her a lot. She reminds me of somebody. Maybe the girl from, oh, what the heck is that show? Colors to these. I mean, this is a little more gray, but very similar. What is that show? Okay. Yeah, that blue is the same. Looking at how I would trim it. Talked about trimming this deck. What do you think? Should I trim Ashley Cook? I would love to know what you think, because the more I look at it, the more I think I should trim Ashley Cook. And the 9, I love both of these, and these are both very different. Love that. I love that there's a spider there. And the 10, and that feels very Marseille arrangement, doesn't it? Scorpion there, that's cool. And the page, his outfit is awesome. It reminds me of Our Flag Means Death. It's my Our Flag Means Death card. And I love her. Love how the traditional, male-female assignments to the Kirk cards are switched up in the Cosmic Seed. He's a cool knight. And so now we have 4 swords. We have the wing of a bird. With the swirly there. And the very similar colors again. And the queen, or the nurturer. She looks kind of badass for a nurturer, right? And instead of, don't they usually, no. Which one has the cat? Brain fart. And the king, or mastery of swords. And he is very cool. Like that he has wings. Okay, so Pentacles. So there's a lot of water in the pentacle here. Was there in the ace? There's a lot of blue down there. And this very blue. And then the 3. It's got all the green that, I kind of associate with that. If you're going to do those colors. There's some green here, and this guy is awesome. Yeah, this one actually kind of threw me because you can see the 3 pentacles there, but then these look like swords, don't they? And because they don't have the suit on them, sometimes the Ashley Cook one throws me a little. 4. Green down here. 5. I like that it's chess pieces. I like this too. And the 6. Okay, so yeah, the first hit I get is that the color story in these is the same. And the 7. And I love this guy. You're like, yeah, I'm waiting. The 8. I love him. I feel like I've seen him in, God, is it Victorian Romantic maybe? You have to pull out and see. And the 9. And they are both so cool. This is one of my favorite cards in the Ashley Cook. Like her. And the 10. Like that it's elephants. And got the baby and the people and the older guy. Sort of arranged a little differently. And the page or the messenger. They are both very cool. And the action in the Pentacles is just a plant, yeah. I was wondering if there was any insects or something in it. So it's just a growing plant, which is very cool. Love this horse. Love it night. It's very well done. Both of them. The collage is very well done. I'm pretty sure that the Ashley Cook is more of an analog collage and the Cosmic Seed is a digital collage. And again, we have the Nurturer is a man, which awesome. You see here how much fire is in this card and how much cooler this one is. And then the King or Mastery. Love her, love him, but again, it's the Pentacles and there's so much fire in it. And this is so much cooler and green. And that was an unfair deck comparison of those two decks. So, thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment below with anything that pops into your head, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.